Now, many investors out there may be running away from investing in the U.S. real estate market. Our next guest, though, says that now is the time that you can make some strategic investments that will yield big results once things turn around. Joining us to explain more is Charles Byron Andrews, founder of Blue Coast Real Estate and Development Group. Charles, good to see you. Some will say, look, things have just got so bad over there. Well, I mean, have you run away over here where things are about to take a downturn as well?
Well, Russ, I got to tell you, the U.S. is down, but we're not out. And when markets go through these cycles, it's a wonderful opportunity for people to get in on the downside, on the way down, rather than on the way up.
Isn't that just like catching falling knives there at the moment?
Absolutely not. I would have to tell you that, when I say we're down and not out, that's exactly what I mean. There's a lot of wonderful things happening in our market, and we do see some signs of the bottom. And if you're strategic, you can still make a great play and get in and on the downside where you're going to make a lot of revenue on the way up.
Charles, Brian Shackman here in the U.S. Good Friday to you. In terms of trying to get some real estate interest overseas as well, how does the dollar and the weakness in the dollar impact this entire picture?
Well, Brian, you're absolutely correct. It's all about the dollar, and the exchange rate is what makes it so advantageous. And it's a great opportunity for a clever person to use the falling dollar and the exchange rate. It really, what the dollar does, it puts kind of wind in the sails of the currency. So you're basically getting an opportunity, 50 cents on the dollar, so to speak.
Charles, this is Christine here, all the way here in Asia. Let me follow up on that because, a lot of people here, the Japanese, the Chinese, look at the weak dollar and say maybe, this is a good time to buy real estate in the U.S. What are some of the bright spots you're seeing?
Well, I can tell you that, with real estate, the old tagline is location, location, location. I would follow that up with education, education, education. And if you get educated and you find the right markets and you understand that it's not just the price, you've got to understand what markets are poised for the biggest growth, jobs, and things that really matter, migration patterns, and you can certainly make good plays with the right team.
Charles, Brian Shackman again, this news that the federal government might get involved in freezing some of these adjustable rate mortgages, is that enough, and how will that make an impact, and do people in your business and even the consumer, do they deserve a bailout here?
Well, Brian, you're absolutely correct, and when governments start getting involved with capitalism, it becomes kind of a scary thought. And one thing I'd like to address is what causes incredible correction, which is a normal cycle. Things go through cycles. Every market goes through a cycle. Basically, what's happening is with the subprime market, the subprime market has affected, had a giant ripple effect. But let's address the subprime market. What is the subprime market? The sweet spot of subprime lending is a credit score of 500 to 580. Those people weren't that qualified to begin with. Underwriting guidelines became very loose. It was easy to get money for real estate, and now that's had certainly a big repercussion. What the banks that are closing and are going to continue to close and have challenges right now, they package these loans of pulled these loans, and they went to sell them on the secondary market. Guess what? There were no buyers. And so that's another great opportunity for euros and pounds and international investors to pick up assets in different asset classes on pennies on the dollar.
I mean, it's a very optimistic view. People will say, look, okay, you're in the game. You've got to, that's what you do. You've got to raise money to invest. That's what you do. But people just say, hang on, this market is there is no sign of recovery here. Yeah, I might be able to buy now, but hey, 6 months' time, it's going to be even cheaper. So why do something now? There's no rush here.
Ross, you bring up a great point, and I want to address that. And when you talk about you're trying to everyone is trying to figure out exactly when the bottom is. Let's talk about the pros and cons of doing that. When you look at doing the bottom, when is it going to bottom out? You've got less availability on the way up. You've got higher prices on the way up. Right now, sellers are giving incentives. Developers are giving big incentives to purchase real estate. When it does correct, those incentives will go away. So now is the time to get in the game.
Okay. Interesting stuff. Charles, thanks very much indeed for that. Charles Byron Andrews, founder of Blue Coast Real Estate and Development Group.
Thanks for having me.